Oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God, what the fuck?
E aí, DJ Raul, você tá futurístico, hein, cachorro?
Oh my God, what the fuck?
My videos don't necessarily promote one religion. My views and opinions aren't meant to change the minds, opinions, or beliefs of others. Watch with an open mind. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, entertainment, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement is intended. We continue to uncover the profound wisdom within the timeless scriptures. Take care, and God bless.
Comedy is an art form that relies heavily on timing and delivery, but it also has deep roots in the comedic lineage of those who came before us. Whether we like to admit it or not, all comedians are influenced by other comedians. But how much influence is too much influence? Well, for starters, he's got a new special on Netflix called No Offense, which showcases his signature blend of observational humor and folksy Southern storytelling. Who said it first? So let's play a little game. I'm gonna show you some clips from various comedians, and I want you to guess who said it first. Was it Theo Van, or one of these other comedians? His stand-up frequently features stories about his eccentric family members and friends, and it's all presented in this rambling conversational style. If you guessed that the second clip was the one that contained the actual joke, then you'd be correct. That joke was performed by comedian Gallagher. Most of Theo's comedy is based around observational humor and everyday experiences. So there is a decent chance that another comedian has made that exact same joke about praying as a kid. It's not like every single person in America has the same thoughts at the same time. It's just that jokes that are based on observations tend to repeat themselves. But if you thought the first clip was the real deal, well, I hate to break it to you, but that was the fake out. Both of these jokes were actually performed by working comedians, but only one of them is an original. Can you spot the fake? This joke is from Louis C.K., and this one is from Mitch Hedberg. Like when someone goes to a movie and they ask you, "How was the movie?" You gotta lie. You gotta be like, "Oh yeah, it was great." There are two jokes, and one of them is original. Can you name that fake? Meanwhile, you hated it. If you were honest, people would know not to go see the movie. It's not good for the economy. No one ever thought about that until they looked up there and saw their mouth do both things at once. Also, is it weird that Theo Von has a mustache now? I think it was for the best. His upper lip is too thin to support that much hair, even the most absurd and unexpected jokes. It's probably been uttered by at least one person before they cross the line into insanity. We've got videos on all the greatest comedians from Mitch Hedberg to George Carlin to Richard Pryor. And we've even got some videos on the greatest jokes of all time. So if you love to laugh and you love learning, then be sure to check it out. But that's what makes being a comedian such a challenging profession. This has been the channel. Be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Remember, don't become a statistic. Watch the channel. Every time you think of a joke, you have to immediately ask yourself, has anyone else said this before? And if so, how can I make it better? It's a constant battle against unoriginality, and only the greatest comedians are able to emerge victorious. This video isn't meant to discredit Theo Von or take away from his comedic success. He's a hilarious comedian with a bright future ahead of him. But the purpose of this video is to highlight the fact that comedy is a difficult art form to be truly original in. Observational humor, by its very nature, relies on observations that other people have made, and there's always a chance that another comedian has said your joke before you have. You didn't have a mustache in the last clip. But if you lie and say it's good, then people go see it. So you're helping the economy by lying. Which one's the fake? Well, the fake is this one. Although technically Mitch Hedberg did perform this joke, it's not an original Mitch Hedberg joke. In fact, it was written by comedian and writer Harris Whittles. Harris was diagnosed with cancer and passed away at the age of 32. He wrote a bunch of jokes for Mitch Hedberg, Louis C.K., and many others to perform. We don't have to put up with this shit. Life is already hard enough. Why am I in a room full of people pretending to listen to a guy talk about stuff when I could be at home watching paint dry? So although it seems like Mitch is saying this, it's actually Harris. That quote is from Theo Von's Wikipedia page, which is kind of cheating because the joke isn't even structured properly. It doesn't even have a punchline. That's why it wasn't funny. It was also the winner of the first season of the reality competition series Now That I'm Older. I realized that wasn't a prayer, that was a request. I'll tell you who said that. I said I was going to grow up and be a professional baseball player. When I grew up, I had two dreams. I wanted to be a professional baseball player, and I wanted to marry the woman that played Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz. Now I know what you're thinking. Those aren't dreams. Those are goals. I say I'm going to miss you like you're dead. It means I'm never going to see you again. There's no opportunity for you to redeem yourself. Once I say I'm going to miss you like you're dead, there's no hope. You should be dead. By the way, that last one was a new joke I just made up. So that means this one is the fake. This joke is from Jerry Seinfeld. Ironic, since Jerry Seinfeld is known for having a show about nothing. I actually stole that joke from a British comedian named Stephen Wright. Stephen says the joke first in a routine from 1986. Jerry Seinfeld says the joke in a routine from 1988. That's not very original. Well, here's the difference between dreams and goals. Dreams come true while you're sleeping. Goals require work. To reach my goal of marrying Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, I'd have to get through her agent, and then I'd have to talk to her parents, and then I'd have to win her over. But my dream of becoming a professional baseball player didn't require any work. All I needed was a good night's sleep. After you watch clip No. 2, the comedian, and has been featured on Comedy Hype's list of the 100 best stand-up comedians of all time. What is parody and what is plagiarism? And why does any answer to these questions require me to bring up Theo Von? What can I tell you about Theo Von? That's right. One of these clips isn't even a joke. It's just a stupid soundbite I grabbed off of Wikipedia. See if you can spot the difference. But to get back to my original point, there's a question I often ask myself when I watch Theo Von. Up first, we have two clips, but only one of them contains something actually funny. Clip No. 1. As a child, I used to pray to God that my dad would get run over by a lawnmower. Clip No. 2. That's right, you heard me correctly. So who said that? But here's where things get complicated. That's why the next round is going to be a little different. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, round. No. 3. Here are two more jokes, and once again, only one of them is original. Can you name that fake? All right, so here we go. People say they're going to miss you like you're dead. Let's move on. All right, fourth round. Here are two jokes, and one of them is by Theo Von. Can you spot the fake? I don't understand why we have to pretend to enjoy things. If you guessed that Theo Von said that, you'd be right. Now, it's time for the final round. This one's pretty simple. It's the fact that you can smile and breathe at the same time. That's crazy. If you guessed that joke was the fake, you'd be correct. That was Mitch Hedberg. The real joke is this one. And to answer your question about Theo Von's mustache, he had it for the entire shoot of his Netflix special, but he shaved it off shortly after. Now that the game is over, I want to make something clear. In fact, most jokes have probably been said at some point or another. And if you want to learn more about some of the greatest comedians of all time, then I recommend checking out my channel. I'm the host.